What's up, pumpkin heads? We got a dang good show for you. Cucumber beetles almost took me out. We make some patch shoes, plant some zinnias, get our tank mixer 3000 installed, get some field pumpkins planted, make a crop circle. We got all sorts of good stuff. We'll see you in there. You're watching Moby Mike Pumpkins on YouTube. All right, we have got to make some new boots here. Whew, they are not looking good. Check this out. We got old and busted, new hotness. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be flying around that patch like dang, oh, you won't believe. Look how fast them things look. A little less surface area, you know. I think we got about double, you know, so it makes me weigh about 130 instead of 260. Well, I'm back to Wisconsin. Wife did an excellent job watering. One thing I was worried about while I was gone, kind of, was cucumber beetles. And look at all them cucumber beetles. And I had put some like granular merit down, and it isn't phasing them in the slightest, and they are just destroying this plant. I'll spray as soon as the sun goes down the horizon, but my main concern is this main vine. I don't know if you can see that. It's like all chewed up under there. It's all just chewed up there. It's just terrible. I'm concerned about the integrity of that main vine. I don't want to really grow that pumpkin, and I don't want to grow in past this. I might have to cut this main vine and let a secondary come out. And that one looks pretty unaffected there. This one I'm worried about, but crap. I'm gonna have to do the other plant's not so bad, but this one's just getting demolished. It's unreal. Unbelievable. All right, we're gonna do some vine training, and then we're gonna have to mix up some spray. We have to take care of these tonight. Ridiculous little buggers. I'm gonna hit them with biphenethrin and Warrior. Sayonara, same as Warrior. But we got to stop these things now. They're just, this plant, who knows? This plant's probably got mosaic virus already. It's been just chewed on. Who knows? Our season could be over with all these bugs. We'll see. So I did a thing. I cut my main vine off. The secondary here, this little guy, it's gonna be the new main. I just can't go on the season here. You can see where that all got chewed on there. There's some deeper stuff towards the back. It maybe would have been fine, but I couldn't go the season having a pumpkin past this, knowing that that was there, and the chances of that rotting out were very high. So we just cut it off, trade a new main vine. It's not the end of the world. We'll keep on keeping on. So there we go. I got to mix up some spray. We got to kill these buggers bad. Got the vines trained up on here, and the plot looked a little better. It really didn't have, that I seen, damage like this one did. And we'll get them sprayed up here. Well, I mix up my chemicals in the house, and I just bring them out to the sprayer here, but these bugs are in for a hurting, because can you tell where the water level was in this cup when I mixed the stuff up? It ate the white part of the cup off there, so that ought to fix them boys up real good. Them damn cucumber beetles, they're just like teenagers when their parents go away for the weekend. They just throw a big old party. Old Mike's gone, let's eat them up. Well, there's repercussions for everything. Well, our little buddies, they're dead. I fixed them right up. I only seen one fly out of this whole plant, and there was like 100 on here yesterday. So that one must have just got here. But everything that was here is dead, and that one will soon be dead that we did see alive, so we're good. Said we cut the main off. That secondary there will be our new main, and we'll just keep on keeping on. Get these plants buried up tonight. Hey guys, I'll fast forward. You just heard me there kind of sounding doom and gloom about these cucumber beetles and pretty upset about them. It's about 5 days later now, and you know, the plant's looking fine. We're just still going to monitor it if it gets a virus. Looking good so far, but you can kind of see some of these leaves now that they're growing out, how just destroyed they got. You know, there's More damage there, you know, damage there. You can see damage, you know, in there, and there, and there, blah, blah, blah. You know, that leaf, that leaf, that leaf, that leaf, you know. I was really just disappointed at myself because I knew I needed to spray before I left. I used some granular merit. Should have worked, it didn't. It would have only taken me 15 minutes to spray. Didn't. But yeah, boy, they just... It'll be fine. It'll be fine as long as the plant doesn't get a virus, because we can't do nothing about it. So this down here is essentially going to be our new main there. So should be good. I don't see anything in the tip. I didn't dig too hard, but you know, so today's the 9th, so we got at least 10 days. So we're probably going to be 22nd, 23rd. I'm going to keep an eye on the secondary behind it if it's got a pumpkin before that one, and we'll maybe cut that one off, but we'll be all right. So this is a smaller plant, so it needs a little later pollination date anyway, so no big deal. No big deal. We'll get her buried up and move on. You know, if you look at the size of this patch, right? This is such a small portion of the plant that it will be. These few damaged leaves, and they're not totally shot. They'll be fine. So there you have it, guys. You know, I always say cucumber beetles, June 1st. They were here. I wasn't. They came right on schedule. The reason I did what I did was on my off years, I always grow like 1,000-pound pumpkin for my yard. And that granular stuff's all I use. But I think this plant, you know, had a little more nitrogen. And it did more so than that one, than the plat. And they were just all over this one, and they were barely on that one. And it's just a nitrogen level. Well, the years I grow those 1,000-pound pumpkins, I don't really throw the nutrients at them. And the bugs kind of leave them alone a little more. But when you're pushing them a little harder, they like them higher nitrogen plants. And this thing's not even that high in nitrogen. I'm going to feed her a little more here. And all right, it is June 5th, and we need to bury vines. We really have almost no vines buried on this thing. So we'll get that done. And what I do is I till an extra spot here. This is my small tiller here. And that's really deep because this main part's only tilled down a few inches. And I scoop dirt out of there, throw it in a 5-gallon pail, bring it over, throw it on the nodes. What that does is it gives the plant a little extra rooting. And what else I did kind of after work, I need to get more sprinklers set up, but you'll see there's all these like circles of wet spots out here. What I was doing is just leaving the hose running one spot for quite a while, just to try and get the subsoil kind of moist. And what that'll do is where I really watered, where I just let the hose run there, it'll make a cone downwards, and it'll help get some of that subsoil watered up. So, and we'll try and get some sprinklers out maybe tonight, and so we can really get some water down, make sure that subsoil's got moisture, because we'll be pollinating here and in a couple weeks, and we want that moisture available for the plants when they need it. And then we need to knock down the rye, spray it, put the fence across, a bunch of other things. So we got plenty to do tonight. All right, I got on my Nike Patch Masters, working good. Now we're just going through and burying every one of these nodes, because there'll be a root come out the bottom and the top. So we're just covering that vine with dirt right at that junction. I don't do it right at the tip because sometimes they want to rise up and we don't want to break it off. But so I'll probably start burying like every couple days now. And what I'll do is the day before, I'll come around and retrain all these vines. I'll just go around the whole plant, train vines, get them in the pattern I want them to be in. And then I'll come back the next day and I'll bury them, and it'll just kind of repeat itself. So we're just trying to get the extra rooting, and I'll clip all the tertiaries off for right now. So we're letting all the secondaries come off the main. And then we're taking all the tertiaries off the secondaries. So a lot of times people ask, what do I do if I get dirt on the leaves, Mike? What do I do? Do I rinse it off? Do I hit it with some fungicide? Here's what I do. You just shake it off. Now it's up to you if you want to sing Taylor Swift. Shake it off. You can. Or you just shake it off. You know, you can kind of tap them. Kind of give them a little beating. Oh, no, we won't say that. But yeah, just shake it off. It'll be fine. I got a dilemma on this plant. 2110 plot. There's a pumpkin on there. See that? And that'll have 15 secondaries on it. But boy, that gives me a pretty early pollination date. And this plant's pretty good size, really. Some people would say no, but I think it's pretty good. It's not going to open for another 4 or 5 days. Then you got 20 days before it's going to take off. So I mean, imagine how much bigger this plant's going to be in 20 days. We're going to pollinate that one, and if it looks nice, we're gonna think about it. And then of course the other plant with the new main, like that one's probably going to be closer to the 20th. I don't know. Once we see that secondary start taking over there, then maybe we'll be able to look in the tip and see what we got. But that one's probably going to be at least 12 days out as well. So we're doing good. Get them all buried up here, and then I think I'm going to work on knocking this rye down. You ever seen them, have you ever seen them crop circles out in the Midwest where there's all these patterns from these aliens? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. Not that I had any involvement in doing any of that stuff, but I'll show you how you do that. And we'll use that method to knock this wheat down. So, well, it's rye anyway. We used to do it on wheat. I mean, them crop circles were in the wheat, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean. All right, guys, we're starting to crimp there. All you need is a board with a strap on it. You just kind of pick up the board and step on it every few inches and crunch her down. Should give her a nice crimp. Then we'll come back and we'll just hit it with a light dose of Roundup. And anything that wants to stand back up shouldn't be able to. So we'll set a time lapse up. You can watch me crimp on this stuff. So, alrighty. Alrighty, we got her all flattened down. We got up our fence, hit it with a light dose of Roundup, and we are good to go. I think I'm gonna squeeze in, trying to hook up a few sprinklers yet tonight before it's too dark. All right, burn the candle at both ends, but hey, we got the sprinkler set up. 3 per pumpkin, 3 per pump and pumpkin. Anyway, I was feeling a little overwhelmed the other day, but hey, we got the bugs taken care of. Looks good. We just got to wait it out, see if we get a virus. Hopefully we don't. And, you know, someone did ask me, hey, if you got a virus, then what do you do? Nothing. There is nothing you can do. You have a virus, it is uncurable. It is what it is. So anyway, yep, we got everything, the rye crimped up and sprayed and the fence up and everything's doing good. And we're going to test these sprinklers out in the morning. I might need to wash my tanks a little better than I did. They've been plugging up on me, and we'll know for sure once I start running 6 of them how bad it is. So, all right, we'll see you then. Good morning, good morning. We got 6 of them rolling. Well, that one's spraying out into the weeds. We got to fix that. But we'll get them kind of tuned in here. That's what I'm talking about. Get up at 5 a.m. and get these plants watered. All right, guys, I got a strip here. I'm going to plant some zinnias in. So we're just going to throw down some fertilizer. I found this. I don't know why I have this. It's a 22010. Maybe not the best, you know, maybe a little more potassium and phosphorus would be better, but that'll be along the pumpkin patch there. So we'll spread some of this out, and I think I got some other stuff I want to get rid of, so we'll just mix something up here and see what happens, I think. All right, now we got a pound of zinnia seeds. Look like these are from Everwild Farms. Really nice packaging, but got a whole pound here. You know, them little packets you buy at the store, they ain't nothing. This is about 58 bucks shipped, so it's a little spendy, but it should be really cool. So I've planted these before like this in strips or big areas, and it's really beautiful. So we'll plant these up here. There's the bag of seeds. So anyway, I'll put the seed down. I put the fertilizer down, and I'll actually just till these in. Not the right probably way to plant them, but it seems to work good. So we'll till these in with the fertilizer, and then I'll bring a hose over here and really soak this down, and they should germinate up nice. All right, I ran out of zinnia seeds like 3/4 of the way down. So what we'll do is we'll just finish the rest of this with some black oil sunflower seeds, just what you put in your bird feeder, and we'll finish this last portion off with some sunflowers. So we'll have about half zinnias, half sunflowers. So plant them up, we'll till them in and water them up. All right, guys, we got to get our tank mixer 3000 going here. Got a new battery in this one end we need to change out to a clip because it doesn't have a threaded thing on there. So you can either buy a fancy tank mixer like this one off Amazon, or you get an old trolling motor for 20-40 bucks and just use that. Why not? That's what I did. Actually, I got this one for free because it didn't work, but I just hit it with a hammer. Good to go. So anyway, we got the battery out of my truck from this winter. I exchanged an older one, so this one should be good for the summer yet. Should be able to get another year out of it mixing fertilizer. So we'll put this roach clip on there. Well, that might be a little big for a roach clip unless you're Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg. All right, there we go. Got the Super Mixer 3000 going. You know, don't worry that both connections are black. Holy smokes! Things falling apart. Pretty big chunks of fertilizer in there, you know. Got 2 black connections, you know. That one's got a little red streak in the wire. That's okay, you know. You don't use any of my stuff without having to think about it. You know, you think twice or you'll get hurt. Holy smokes, I was really turning the heat up. That clamp is smoking. What is going on there? Oh, it's not clipped on the battery real good. Kind of hot. I kind of got to get this mixed up. I ain't got time for this. Turn her back on. Let her smoke. Let's get her mixed up. We got some humic, kelp. Get her going. Oh yeah, she's still smoking. And that's not the one I put on, by the way. The left one is. Oh, 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 oh. Get it just right, it spins faster. I suppose we're gonna have to redo that connection. We'll turn her on low so she quits smoking. All right, let's go water this patch. All right, I'm getting the fertilizers out. Just thought I'd show you. So TKO Max, that's fungicide. So we'll do some drenches with that later in the year. We might get one here before pollination, we'll see. 0029 potassium acetate. This is just a 500 calcium with boron, a little bit of boron in there. Just nothing special. I just actually want to get it used up. I got powdered calcium nitrate and boron too, so it's just premixed liquid. pH down, nitric version. Here's my favorite fertilizer. Dram 1. Hydrolyzed fish, kelp, humic, Chilean nitrates, fulvic, 4,4, 0.5. Good stuff. Good amino acids. I found this down there. I got to use this up. This is older than dirt, but this is soy protein, and it's 1400, but it's real soluble, but it's just getting kind of nasty. You need to use that up. This is my main fertilizer though, 41838. I need to get some more of this. We'll have to bust this up. It's kind of hard, but. And we got some wow, seaweed, and humic. One of these bags is mixed at the 5.2. Some chelated iron. This is Solubar. It's like borax, but it's soluble. Some Epsom salt, some more calcium nitrate. Got an EC meter for my tanks. That's about it, but mainly this is all kind of off balance. Mainly we're going to feed that whole 5-gallon jug, and I would probably feed 10 if I had it. I'm probably going to order some more of this, probably at least 10 pounds of that. That I'll use kind of right now because I think I'm a little low on nitrogen. Just give her a little boost. That potassium acetate's better as a foliar, but I don't really do much foliars, but it works. I kind of like this, you know, because it gives a little phosphorus too, a little bit of nitrogen. So, and then the TKO, that's good for your root health. That absorbs up into the plant. So that's kind of got some fertilizer value, but it's really a fungicide. So anyway, this is basically all I'm working with. I don't think I would add anything other than that. I do have every micronutrient downstairs yet. I'll probably leave them down there, but if I see some kind of deficiency, we can bring those up and give it. The iron is the one that I'm a little low in iron in my soil, so I like to boost that every once in a while. But this here, if you look at that label, it's got trace amounts of everything. That's why I like it. You know, copper, boron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc, all that good stuff. So you're feeding a little bit every time you feed this. So, but other than that, I think the only thing I kind of get out of ratio on is iron. So that's why that's out right now. So there you have her. I didn't want to carry all this stuff to the patch, so I threw it in my truck. So now that we got Tank Mixer 3000 up, we'll I think we can give these boys a little food here. I think they're getting a little hungry. All right, we're gonna feed the pumpkins, and no, that is not Coke. That is this Agar Boost Calcium with Boron. I want to use this up. I forgot the stuff has humic in it, even though like it doesn't say that. I think it's got humic and kelp in it, even though it's not on the label. That's why it's black. At least that's what I think. Either that or someone swapped some Coca-Cola in there. I don't know. But anyway, we'll give 16 ounces to each tank, and then each tank will go to each pumpkin, basically. And that should give us a little nitrogen boost. Them vines are kind of dragging on the ground. I want to give it a little bit. I always amend kind of low on nitrogen, so we can always add some. So let's do that and see where we're at tomorrow. Oh, funny thing, my wife saw this picture in my truck, and she's like, "Is that for measuring fertilizer?" I said, "You know me well." All right, let's see what we got for EC on this water. I did not. I should have checked the one before I did the other. Oh, that ain't bad. That's good. So depending on how you convert that, that'd be like 650 parts per million, and it's 0.8 to begin with, so no problemo. Could go a little more, but we'll just go with that. Take her easy. All right, sprinklers are rolling. If you notice, I got my gantry frame moved back there. It's because I got some cameras on there. Running a little security out here. Making sure there ain't no Sasquatches running around. No Jim Fords. All right, we got a pollination on the 2110 plot. My wife did it for me this morning. She did a good job. Problem was it was like 43 out, so at like 6:30 a.m. when I went to work, the flower wasn't open. Luckily she was home, and it opened around 9 a.m. and maybe be able to show you a shot of that right now. But let's go up and take a look at it. It's evening now, and should be done being receptive. We'll take a look at it. Looked like it was a good 5-lober. Let's take a peek. I cut the leaf off early because it was kind of rubbing on the pumpkin itself there. So let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, look at that, beautiful. We'll leave the cup on for another day here, and the only reason I got the shade here is because the leaf as we shown was off, and I just don't want it to get too hot. Just a little bit of shade. So tomorrow's gonna be 80, which ain't gonna be a big deal. And it's gonna be cooler after that. I'll probably just ditch this then. So I think we got 16 secondaries plus that one, plus the one at the pumpkin. Trying to keep the whole patch moist because it's a terrible drought out here. My lawn is completely brown, which it normally is until the end of August. So I think we'll give her another shot of water here tonight, and maybe vineberry tomorrow, and we'll call that good for a week. All right, we'll get the field pumpkins planted here. We got the 177 Paul and the 138.5 Paul. So those are the ones we'll try out. We'll plant 8 and we will pick 6. It's Saturday and the field pumpkins are up. I meant to check them last night. I meant to check them yesterday morning. I'm sure they were up yesterday morning. They're gonna be a little laggy, you know, because I kind of forgot. But hey, we'll get them outside, get them some light. To say I'm mad about these leggy plants is an understatement, but that just shows you how much my head was in the game on these guys. Oh, dang it. They will be okay. They will be okay, but that, you know, I mean, come on. What is that? Jacket of beanstalk? We don't want that. Actually, some of these 177s must have germinated slightly later than those because they're not near as tall, so that's kind of nice, but plant them a little deep so the wind doesn't whip them. And all right, what we're going to do today is double check the moisture in there. We're going to dig around the patch a little bit, and then I got my EC meter since I'm out here. And we're just going to verify how we're watering, because it's honestly, we haven't got any rain since I think before May. It's crazy out here. So it looks wet, but one thing I was harping on at the Michigan seminar was you're not Superman. You can't see through the soil. You got to get in there and dig around, you know, unless you got moisture sensors or something. But anyway, my wife reminded me this morning. She's like, hey, make sure that you're doing what you think you're doing. And she was absolutely right, because I think I've been doing enough, but you know what? I haven't checked, and you got to check. You have to check. So we're going to check. We're going to dig around here. And I know some spots like right here, sprinkler stuck the other day. So like that one's probably pretty good, but we're just going to go do some spot testing, check it out. Today was a nice overcast day, not a lot of evaporation, but if we need to, we're going to put more down, because we got 20 days to grow this plant now. This one's pollinated. We got 20 days to grow it before the pumpkin's going to want to take off, and the moisture's got to be good around the whole patch, and we want that plant to grow as good as we can in those next 20 days, and so we got to keep on top of it. All right, here's all I'm doing, digging a little hole about 7 inches deep, and moisture looks pretty good. Didn't really find any areas that were over wet, but they're all real good. But I'm still gonna water, so I want to just make sure and get really down deep in the watering. And you see in the patch is right around a 1.8, 0.8 to 1, pretty average. Couple 1.2s, so that's pretty good on fertility. I mean, we're gonna keep adding fertilizer, but we're not getting carried away or anything, so it's good. So I did this about a dozen different places. I found one spot that was maybe a touch wet. Most of them are just dead on. So like I said, even though everything's good, I just want to water again and try and get some of that deeper stuff, and then then we can cut back if we need to. But we're still just probably pounding a little more than they need. Each plant has been getting like 275 gallons, which normally this time of year would only be 100. So we'll do that again tonight, give them like 275 gallons a piece, and then we'll kind of go revert back to what we need to, just to keep them maintained then. So we should be watered good down low and ready to rock.